Hey boys and girls in YouTube world, hope this video is finding you all doing well. So this is my headless Telecaster that I built a while back using a regular Telecaster body that I totally modded, if you watch that video, and some ERT GW2 headless guitar parts, the neck and the bridge. For this part right here, you can see it's two pieces. I used a Telecaster bridge plate. But I cut the back part in half and I just kept the front part, and I drilled 4 holes and used it as a Telecaster pickup mounting plate. So anyway, I ordered this pickguard material from Amazon. It's a nice thick pickguard. The plan is I'm going to remove this, and before I remove it, I'm going to tape these two pieces together so that they don't move. And then I want to just get a rough trace of this shape all in one piece. I don't want to do it by hand. So a friend of mine, which actually teaches at school with me, he runs the shop class there. They have a CNC machine. So he thinks that you can kind of do like a scan of the original pickguard and then put this in the machine and have it cut out a pickguard that I could put on this guitar. So that's kind of the plan. The only thing I'm thinking about is I like the sound of this. It used to be a Telecaster bridge, right? So it's metal. So I'm wondering if it now becomes plastic, if it's going to affect the sound. So I'm going to record just an audio clip of just some basic chords and maybe a few licks with the guitar as is. And then I'll do the same thing again once I get this pickguard kind of done up. And then we'll see if it really changes the sound. So now I'm just going to take a piece of this shielding tape, because it's fairly rigid and it doesn't stretch. And I'm going to tape this together. And then that way I can take this off, remove the rest of the screws, take it off, and maintain the proper position from one to the other. So it looks like this. So I have it all taped. So now I can remove the other screws and take this pickguard off. Alright, so that worked fine. So I added another piece of tape in the back as well, on the back side. So that really holds it nice and tight, and it doesn't move, it doesn't flex. So using shielding tape to kind of hold two pieces together really works out well. Alright, so here's the traced pickguard. Stay tuned and we'll see how this turns out. Alright guys, well, the CNC machine didn't work. It's kind of a complicated thing. So I had to use this little tiny bandsaw. It's got a really small blade, and I was able to cut out the pickguard. I didn't film it because I didn't want you guys to hear any inappropriate swear words that might slip out of my mouth. Because it was a kind of a nerve-wracking job, and I didn't do a great job of the pickup holes, but I think it'll be okay. Anyway, we're gonna head home and see what that looks like. Well, look at that. That went on actually pretty good. So there's the one-piece pickguard, and I want to see if it's going to make a difference in tone now that this piece that's circling the bridge pickup isn't metal. I don't know if that really makes a difference or not. We're going to find out. All right, here's some sound clips with the original setup. So that's the steel modified Tele plate around the bridge pickup. Using my Quilter amp, that's just over there. And everything is set at 12 except for the limiter. The limiter's set at 9. The gain is just past 12, so we'll say 1. And the master volume's about at 9. And the reverb's about at 10. So here's what we got. Alright, time to change. Here's what the new pickguard looks like with strings on it. So let's see if the sound is a whole lot different now. So here are those chords again. So there you have it. I don't know if it's much different, but I like it. I think it's fine. So that's it, I guess. Thanks for following me on my pickguard modification quest. And it would have been cool to see the CNC machine work, but the CNC machine in our school, it's kind of like you have to take a picture of, like, so my pickguard, we had to take a picture of it, and then that has to be transferred into some kind of a file on the computer, and then it has to be sized properly, and it was just not cooperating, and we didn't want to risk like ruining that pickguard material that I bought, so I just ended up cutting it with the little bandsaw that you saw there. And yeah, and that's the outcome. So it looks good from far, I guess, but from close you can see the imperfections, especially on the edges. And these corners aren't the same either. So this one turned out not too bad. This one I went too short. I went too shallow inside there. So it's not the best. But hey, you know what? It's a prototype is what it is. And it turned out pretty good. I can play with it live. It's very reliable. Don't have to worry about string breakage or it going out of tune, or like, it's been a super solid axe. So all in all, it's fun. And now I got two different pickguards I can swap back and forth, right? So yeah. Anyway, if you heard, a difference, if you can spot a difference, let me know. I do have brand new strings on this now. The other strings would have been not super old, but there would have been 4 or 5 gigs on them, so about 3 hours a gig. So you're looking at 12 to 15 hours of playing time, on them. Not to mention practicing as well. So, yeah, I don't know. So maybe that's a difference too, right? So I don't know how much of a difference a metal surround, like around the pickguard, actually affects the tone of a Telecaster. A lot of people say that the sound of a Telecaster, that twangy, kind of spanky tone, is the result of the metal bridge surrounding the bridge pickup, which no other guitar really has or has been known for. I don't believe that that's 100% true. I don't know. I think this has got plenty of spank and it's just plastic. So anyway, for me, I would think it's the big brass or copper plate on the back of the pickup that makes the difference. And of course the magnets, and of course the playing style, and of course the amp, and the technique, and all that stuff, right? So anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Thanks for following me on this. God bless. And you guys have yourselves a good one, and keep playing that 6 string.